As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
There's no crying in baseball!
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice cliente.
That was totally wicked!
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change!
And welcome to another episode of Your Next Favorite Movie. I am your host, Josh G. And today's going to be a different kind of episode because I don't have a guest. I'm not going to be discussing a single movie or anything like that. I'm going to start what's going to end up being, I think, a 4-part list of movies. I've seen a trend going around where they're doing movies, favorite movie from every year, starting with the year you were born. Now, me being me, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go back to the year I was born, but I'm going to start with last year in 2020. And so, before we get started, just so everyone knows, if I did a top 10 list at the very first episode, so if you want to hear my top 10 favorite movies, go to that list. I will briefly mention them on the years I get to them, if they fall in there. But I'm going to use this time to highlight a different movie. And also, I'm just going to throw out some movies that maybe almost made the cut. So hopefully by the end of this whole series, you'll have a big list of movie recommendations to go by if you haven't seen them. Although they are my favorite movies from the year, so a lot of them are going to be pretty well-known movies. So let's just go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with last year, 2020. Which everyone knows 2020 wasn't the best year for movies. A lot of stuff got released just, straight digitally or straight to streaming services. Some stuff got in theaters. But I didn't get to see a whole lot. So I thought about going with the Netflix original film, The Devil All the Time, because I did enjoy that one with Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland. That's a good one. And then the other one was the one that I think won Best Screenplay at the Oscars and was up for a bunch of other Oscars, and that was Promising Young Woman. But ultimately, I went with one I saw earlier this year, and I actually thought it was from this year. But turns out it had a 2020 release date, and I'm going to pick that one, and that is Psycho Goreman.
Dad? You okay, sport? Is there such thing as monsters?
What's with all the monster talk tonight?
For every child, there is one time. One adventure, and one psycho. I will bathe in your blood.
Oh,
That makes all their dreams come true.
He's gonna kill everybody if we take him anywhere.
not unless I tell him to. Bullseye!
For Mimi, that time is now. And that friend is Psycho Goreman.
Or PG for short.
PG. Rated R.
So yeah, Psycho Goreman, PG for short. It's just this alien creature comes to this town with his brother and sister, and they have to basically hide him and take care of him a little bit, make sure he's not killing everyone. And it's R-rated, it's violent, it's got some good gore gags, and overall it's just really my kind of thing. So I had a lot of fun with Psycho Goreman. Alright, so 2019. Kind of the opposite problem I had of 2020, where I didn't see a whole lot. 2019, I saw quite a bit. I mean, I loved movies like Joker, Us, Uncut Gems, Dolomite Is My Name, Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story. I mean, it was a good year for movies, but ultimately it came down between two main movies. And I thought heavily about going with Ari Aster's Midsommar, but ultimately I can't go against my man Quentin Tarantino. My favorite movie was definitely Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Whoa, here I come. Oh, here I come. Actors are required to do a lot of dangerous stuff. Cliff here is meant to help carry the load.
Is that how you describe your job, Cliff?
Carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
I'm Sharon Tate. I'm in the movie.
In this town, that can all change like that.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I mean, you get two great characters from DiCaprio playing Rick Dalton and Brad Pitt playing Cliff Booth. I mean, this is a hangout film. You're hanging out with these characters as they go through about, I mean, it's really not, a couple days, and then it cuts to, 6-8 months later or whatever it was, and you get the rest of the story. And I know a lot of people were upset. They thought the Sharon Tate aspect was going to be more of the story than it was. I had already heard that was just kind of serving as the backdrop. It's really about these two guys, an actor and his stunt double, basically. And yeah, if you haven't checked it, if you don't like Tarantino, I still suggest just check it out. All right, so now I'm going to move on to 2018. Once again, a year that was between really two movies. And I almost went with Halloween 2018, the Blumhouse version of Halloween. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I actually really enjoy it. I think it's well paced for me anyway. I like the guy that playing the new Michael Myers. I thought it was really good. But ultimately, just like I almost went with Midsommar, I did go back to Ari Aster with this one and had to go with Hereditary.
You okay, Mom? Is there something you want to say?
Why would I want to say something so I could watch you sneer at me?
I don't ever sneer at you.
Oh, sweetie, you don't have to. You get your point across.
And say what you want to say then.
Hey, Dad.
I tried.
Try again, release yourself.
Stop.
Just say it.
Don't you ever raise your voice at me. I am your mother. All I do is worry, and all I get back is that face on your face. So full of disdain and resentment and always so annoyed. Nobody admits anything they've done!
Sorry. I know it's irrational.
Hereditary, now playing.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those films, like, I think everyone would agree Toni Collette should have at least gotten an Oscar nomination, if nothing else, for this. Gabriel Byrne did good. Alex Wolff did good. I can't think of her name. The girl who played Charlie did good. It had some jarring things in there, some unexpected surprises. At least for me, I went into the movie without even seeing a trailer, so I had no idea what was coming, and I'm more appreciative of it for that. All right, so let's move on down to 2017. Now, I'm sure there are movies that I'm forgetting come out these years, but only one stuck out for me from 2017, and that was It Chapter 1.
Look, everywhere It happens, it's all connected by the sewers. What happened?
What is that?
If we stick together, all of us will win.
Make it a wonderful day.
It, rated R, September 8th.
Yeah, so it took, I didn't grow up loving the miniseries like a lot of people did. I saw it late, and I like it. I enjoy it for what it is, but I think this was a better version of that, if I'm being honest about it. I love all the child actors, and I think the book, the miniseries, and even this new It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2, the half with the kids is definitely the better half, without a doubt. And I think that's just, unfortunately, it's just with the way Stephen King wrote it, that's just how it's always going to be. It's just better half of the book. And at least for me personally, I love a good coming-of-age story anyway, so I'm always going to gravitate towards that. So let's move on to 2016. And this was a rare year for me, because I had to choose between two movies, and both of them were animated movies. And that's not normally how I do things. So I almost went with the more traditional Disney princess Moana, because I really do love that movie. But ultimately, I had to go with Zootopia.
The new year means the countdown begins to
Zootopia.
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 In Zootopia, anyone can be anything. These guys, they be naked.
All the way down.
Fireball.
From the creators of Frozen and Big Hero 6, think fast. And act naturally.
Isom. Daddy! No icing anyone at my wedding. I have to, baby. Daddy has to.
Fireball.
Disney's Zootopia. Coming to cinemas.
So I chose Zootopia. I mean, a big part of it, I'm not going to lie, is Jason Bateman I'm a sucker for Jason Bateman, so I love the fact that he's doing the Fox in this. And then just the story of this small town bunny who's basically being bullied because she's a bunny, coming to this town, and she gets to be a cop and take all these people. And it's a fun environment. It's a fun atmosphere. And yeah, if you haven't checked out either one of those, I'd say check it out, but definitely check out Zootopia. I'd love to see more in that world. All right, so now I'm going to go to 2015, and almost went with a Pixar movie of Inside Out. And then I thought about heavily going with Mad Max Fury Road, because I really enjoyed that. But ultimately, I'm going back to my boy Quentin Tarantino, The Hateful Eight.
From the director of Kill Bill and Django Unchained comes 7 strangers and one
Good way to get yourself dead.
They got a secret.
One of y'all ain't who they say they is.
But they didn't count.
Do you know who he is?
Whoa! On him.
Starting to see pictures, ain't you?
He'll kill everybody in here.
Shoot him, stab him, burn him. I never bring him in alive. Never. Never, ever.
The Hateful Eight, rated R, December 31st.
Now, I've heard a lot of people don't seem to like The Hateful Eight as much as his other stuff, but I don't know. Sam Jackson, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I mean, I love the whole ride getting to the haberdashery. And then once you get there, Bruce Dern, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, some of the classic Tarantino actors are in it, and I love it. I went to go see this. Me and a friend drove this about 100 miles to go see this so that we could see the roadshow experience in 70 millimeter, where you had your overture at the beginning, you had an intermission, you got a program for the movie as part of it. And I love this movie, and honestly, if I was ranking them, this is definitely top 2 or 3 Tarantino for me. All right, so then we're going to move on to 2014. Now, a movie I just saw for the first time last year was Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler, and I really thought about picking that, but I want to see it a few more times before I go with that one. And then I thought about Keanu starting off a new action franchise 15 years after he started The Matrix with the John Wick. And I thought about going with that. But ultimately, a movie that was recommended to me that I didn't think I would enjoy that much was Whiplash.
All right, Whiplash. 5, 6, man. I push people beyond what's expected of them.
Why would you let him get away with what he did to you?
Because I want to be great.
I can cut you anytime I want.
You would have cut me by now.
Try me! There are no 2 words in the English language more harmful than good job.
Whiplash, rated R. Now playing select cities, coming soon to a theater near you.
And yeah, I mean, this was an Oscar-winning performance from, oh my goodness, I almost said James Jameson, J.K. Simmons, and then Miles Teller doing the drums in it, and it's fantastic. Now, I'm not a big music guy. I've never played instruments, so I don't get it from that standpoint. But just overall, this is a fantastic movie, and I think more people need to check out Whiplash. All right, 2013. Now, if you go back to my original list, I do have The Wolf of Wall Street on there, so I'm going to leave that one out. But earlier that year, I had went to go see a double feature. And the first movie was Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem, which has really grown on me over the years and might be my favorite of his at this point. But I had to go with a remake or / reboot, or maybe just set in a parallel universe, if you will, with the remake of Evil Dead.
There was something in the woods.
Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't know if you've noticed this, but everything's been getting worse. Every second. If we don't do something, we're all gonna be dead!
We're gonna get you.
Does that sound fine?
Rated R.
Yeah, I mean, Fede Alvarez, he just brought there's practical effects. This thing rains blood. Jane Levy is great. I think the story is great. It's believable when she starts to change why people wouldn't buy into her. And for all those reasons, I love this. And if you haven't seen the remake of Evil Dead, please seek it out. It is fantastic. All right, 2012. Now for 2012, you heard me list 2 Tarantinos. You probably think I'm going to go Django Unchained. And while I do love Django Unchained, I'm actually going with something a little bit surprising here. I'm going with Pitch Perfect.
You call yourself Fat Amy?
Yeah, so trick bitches like you don't do it behind my back.
How are we paying for regionals? A bikini car wash is definitely out of the question.
No, I'm like super good at bikini car washes.
There will be no more wasting time with boyfriends. Serious? Dixie Chick serious.
It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money.
Pitch Perfect.
What are you doing?
Horizontal running.
Select theaters start September 28. Rated PG-13.
Now, for those unfamiliar, Pitch Perfect about these college girls who do a cappella competitions, and they end up going all over the world to do this, so it's kind of cool. It's got Anna Kendrick. It's oh my goodness, Rebel Wilson's in it. It's kind of her introduction. I mean, I think she was in Bridesmaids the year before, but I think people really started to take notice of her in this. It's one I didn't think I would enjoy going in, and I watch it. My wife and kids love watching it, and I sit there and I enjoy the hell out of it. So I was like, you know what? I got to pick Pitch Perfect. That's the movie I watched the most from this year, that's for sure. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap up part 1 of this series. So, hey, if you like what you're hearing, go on, give us that 5-star review on Apple. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at YNF Movie Pod. And check back next week as I'll be back with a guest, and I'll have a new movie you guys can check out. And I'll be putting these out on Friday, so if you check back next Friday, I'll have part 2 of this list. You guys take care. I'll talk to you next time.